What's doing with Houston with the play? The World According to Kinky Friedman.
Yeah, Becoming Kinky, The World According to Kinky Friedman, is a play with a young Kinky, middle-aged musician Kinky, and an older Kinky, and Little Juford as Little Juford.
He was in it, I read that.
He's a Jew and he drives a Ford, basically. But the whole thing was done by a guy, written and directed by Ted Swindley in Nashville, who did Always Patsy Cline, which is a smash. So that's the man I would choose to misrepresent me. The play is funny as hell. Every 10 years, Texas hits. Started with Dallas on TV, the TV show. Then it went to Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Then to Urban Cowboy. And now we're due. So if Becoming Kinky, when it gets to New York, this thing could be, it could be huge. Yeah.
Would you, it had to be an honor to have somebody write a play about you?
Well, Ted Swindley says he's never heard of a play successfully staged about a living person. They're always about Will Rogers, Mark Twain, Eva Peron, Patsy Cline.
Wow.
So that's kind of a, unfortunately it came 10 minutes too late to make any difference in my life. But
how involved were you in putting that play together? Or do you have nothing?
No.
Is it a real about you? You saw it, so it obviously.
I was expecting Elvis impersonators or Kinky impersonators. It's not. I mean, the actors are really, really good actors, and the musicians are really good. So there's 4 of them, and by the time it's done, you feel like you've been through the ringer here. One of these people are laughing their ass off, and then suddenly I'm looking out here, every woman in the crowd is crying. That's just what this old guy is, the story the old guy is reading. He's that good.
Wow.
So.
They picked up good characters.
Yeah, so Becoming Kinky, watch for it. Yeah.
So when's it going to be in New York? Do you have an idea?
No, they're organic things. It took Patsy Cline 3 years.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some audiobooks.
Yeah.
31 mystery novels you wrote?
Yeah, 31 I've churned out, I mean carefully crafted.
Yeah.
31 books in all. They're not all mysteries.
Okay.
But for the first time, we're making them available as e-books and audiobooks read by me. And reading your old stuff is really, without slashing your wrists, is very difficult to do. But fortunately, I've forgotten how the mysteries ended. So
it's new to you.
Yeah, it's new to me. They hold up well.
That's good.
And for older people who have had collections of Kinky books in the past, usually what happens is, over the years, cats piss on it, all right? So the best thing you can do, I think, is to go to kinkyfriedman.com. Go to the website, and that way you can link right to Amazon or Apple or Barnes & Noble. Download them that way, both the e-books and the audiobooks. And there's stuff like Elvis, Jesus, and Coca-Cola. There's a book and Roadkill, the story about Willie Nelson, the mystery about him. And then there's all of my columns in the magazine Texas Monthly have been put together as a book called Drinker with a Writing Problem.
You published some travel log?
I wrote a book about Austin. Is that the one you're referring to?
Great psychedelic armadillo picnic?
Picnic, yeah. That's about Austin, to which I love Austin, but every change is for the worse. I hate to sound like an old guy bitching, which I guess I do, but every change in Austin is definitely for the worse. We have this town that is the live music scene of the world, and all these rich people come in and buy condos so they can be close to this excitement. And you know what happens next? They bitch that the music is too loud.
And that's true. Everywhere in New Jersey, it's the same thing.
That's right. So what happens? The hall monitors come around,
close up the music.
Check the decibel levels. If it's too high, they find these mom and pop places who can't afford to pay it. They go out of business, and what's left are the couple of big famous places that will always be there.
It's
but
the same.
and smoking bans, the same deal. Smoking, our cigars, Kinky Friedman cigars, KFC. These are made in Honduras. I am really attuned to the fact that it's very undemocratic and un-American to tell people that no one can smoke inside and that you got to be 20 feet away from a building, when we could very well have a place that's called Herb's Cafe, smoking allowed. Then everybody would know if you're going to work there or if you're going to bring your kids in there, there's going to be people smoking. And whereas if Kinky says no smoking, Kinky's bar, then nobody's going to be smoking. That's the way America should have resolved this problem. We did not.
Nope.
And so now we've got my pal Lance Armstrong, who's behind a lot of this stuff in Texas, the bans, telling me, we're doing it for your health, Kinky. We're doing it for you. Now, I admire Lance as a hero in a lot of ways. But this one, they ain't doing it for my health. They're doing it because they're hall monitors and power junkies, and they've polled this and realized that smoking is unpopular with most of the voting public, and they can pick on us like biblical lepers. So what happens now is, I've done some research and I found there's at least 7 countries: Israel, Japan, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Greece, and France. That's 7.
Yeah.
Every one of those countries, you check it out, every one of those countries has higher smoking per capita than the United States. All of them do.
And they allow smoking?
Yeah, they have more people smoking per capita than we do. Every one of those countries, Herb, has a longer life expectancy than the United States. So from this, all we can conclude is that speaking English is killing us, folks.
So what kind of line are they feeding us here?
Yeah, I mean,
feeding us a...
it's bullshit.
Bullshit.
It's totally bullshit, and that's what politics is. Politics is a fundamentally dishonest profession.
How about the Billy Bob Thornton book?
That one I'm
That's
excited
coming up.
about. That's gonna really be an eye opener. We'll have a lot of people. I think Angelina Jolie is going to tell some really great stories about Billy, and this is one of the few guys that you've ever heard of who is one of these guys that wrote, directed, and starred in something that didn't suck. Not only did it not suck, but Sling Blade may be one of the best movies of the past 50 years.
Right.
And the last one I can think of who wrote, starred, and directed in his own film was Orson Welles and Citizen Kane. You're going back a long way.
That was back.
I mean, even Mel Gibson didn't do it with a passion. I mean, he didn't star in it. We're doing a tour of Australia next month in June. I'm doing it with Van Dyke Parks, who's the man who orchestrated the cello on the song Good Vibrations. The Aussies kind of know, they're not looking for mainstream. They're not looking for a tour by Barry Manilow. That doesn't excite them. They would like something like this, like Kinky and Van Dyke, you know? And America's kind of lost that. America, we give all the money to Barry Manilow. I'm not picking on Barry Manilow. I'm just saying he writes songs that make you feel good for a short period of time. And some of the others I mentioned, Christopherson, Willie, Merle Haggard, Bob, those people they might make you think, and their songs might last a lifetime, and that's what I strive to do.
Well, his songs have been around. Mr. Haggard's songs have been around for a lot of years.
Yeah.
The common man's poet, they call him.
Yes.
He's
That's
good.
a wonderful thing to be. Now, if we just had a common man's politician, we'd have it made.
They can't relate to him. They can't relate to his music, I guess, as politicians.
No. You know, I gave Bill Clinton and George W.
Yep.
a cigar in the White House. And with Bill, I gave him a Cuban cigar, because that was before we had Kinky Friedman cigars. And I told him, remember, Mr. President, we're not supporting their economy, we're burning their fields. I don't deal with money myself. I'm a very rare instance of a Jew who only cares about 2 things, Libya, and what was the other one?
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen, thank you, Herb. I don't care about money. The only currency I value is the coin of the spirit. And everybody that I admire died broke. All the ones who inspired me, just about. I can't think of one.
Wow.
There wasn't a Hugh Hefner or anybody in that bunch, or a Donald Trump. They were all, from Jesus to Mozart being buried in a pauper's grave, to Stephen Foster, Edgar Allan Poe, Schubert, all dying in the gutter. Gandhi. You look at those guys.
Yeah.
I don't know who said this. I think one of those, Carnegie or somebody, that to make a vast fortune is commendable in your life is commendable, but to die with it is a disgrace.
Tequila?
Tequila coming soon. Tequila. That's the man, Kinky Friedman's Man in Black Tequila, which I call, of course, Mexican mouthwash, and I've become quite addicted to it. It's probably a transfer addiction from other situations earlier when, Jimmy Buffett and I in 1976, I believe we snorted the fine line that existed between fiction and nonfiction. I think I can say that.
You're politicking. You think you're done with politicking?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we'll.
Take a little rest.
The Lord has bigger things in store for the Kingster than just being a politician. I've also worked out my last will and testament. And when I die, I'm to be cremated, and my ashes are to be thrown in Governor Rick Perry's hair. So we have that worked out.
They ain't making Jews like Jesus anymore.
Well, we'd stop right there. They ain't making Jews like Jesus anymore. It's a politically incorrect song in a time of great political correctness, and you see a tsunami of political correctness hitting our country.
Yeah.
To the point where if you got a young Richard Pryor were to walk in, or a Mel Brooks or a George Carlin, and we were going to manage them, we couldn't break them in the mainstream today.
No.
We could not break them. And furthermore, if we were rich, so rich, had hundreds of millions of dollars, we could not make the movie Blazing Saddles in America
No more.
today.
That's done. That's history.
Yeah. So,
That's history.
so in my opinion, the country's taken a giant cultural step backwards, and that's why I continue to have the song "They Ain't Making Jews Like Jesus Anymore," which is really an anthem against bigotry, and which, of course, readily employs the dreaded N-word prominently in the song.
You had a parody to Mr. Haggard's song?
Proud to be an asshole from El Paso.
There you go.
It's been big, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, before we're gonna wrap it up, you've got 2 compilation CDs of some of your music? 3, and Willie's working on a 3rd one?
Well, yeah, there's a couple albums out with my songs on them, tribute albums, and Willie is right now working on Kinky Willie, which that won't be the title of it, but that's the running title. May the God of your choice bless you, and one little message for the folks, a little piece of advice: find what you like and let it kill you.